Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Ultra Magnus, a retool of the Transformers Prime RID Optimus Prime figure. And I actually did not grab that idiot for size comparison because, I got another Optimus Prime for size comparison, and I think that should be enough. But anyway, here he is, and man, this mold was not really made to be Ultra Magnus. And also, let's talk about a little story about good old Ultra Magnus, because back in the original Transformers Prime RID days, he actually already got a figure that I was personally very interested in getting until we got the official reveal of what Ultra Magnus was going to look like in Transformers Prime. And at that point I was like, you know what, maybe I don't want you, because also they never really repainted that mold into anyone else. But the thing is that they made an Ultra Magnus figure, and then they decided when Optimus Prime changed body that they were going to introduce this idiot as Optimus Prime, because, you know, they already had the model and everything. They were able to, move it around. All they had to do was give it a new head, bigger shoulders, and also a new paint job, and also a new chest, and that was really all they needed to do. But overall, it worked very much. However, sadly enough, on toy form, that comes with its own set of limitations. However, I will say that I like this figure a lot more for Optimus than I like the RID figure for, well, actually, I like this figure more for Ultra Magnus than the RID figure for Optimus Prime. Let's just say that, okay? I almost misspoke. I think I actually did misspeak. Anyway, let's pull you in closer, good old Ultra Magnus. And man, he was the leader of the Wreckers, and Wheeljack hated him, I remember that. But anyway, here you got his head sculpt looking very nice, very Ultra Magnus-y with the scowl and everything. The new chest piece right here, because of the fact that, you know, he had to be slightly different somehow. You got the gigantic shoulder pads that Ultra Magnus has always been known for. By the way, there are some missiles that I don't have anymore. At least I can't find those things anymore, because the missiles I always kind of like put off to the side because I didn't really care about the missiles. But anyway, he's got these towering things right here, which do kind of get in the way of the transformation sequence, so we'll have to figure that one out as we go along. Then down here you got obviously the supermodel kind of thingy with like the six-pack that he has right there, which I never really understood. I mean, people will complain and say that, oh, they made RC like really hot, and it's like, well, that's not untrue. But also, they made the rest of the cast hot as well. So I don't know what your complaint is. No one has a realistic waist, okay? And by the way, for anyone who is going to complain about, but what about her organs for RC specifically? Yeah, these are robots. They don't necessarily have organs, so we don't really need to talk about that. And then down here, you got the fact that Ultra Magnus really focuses on shoulder day and not necessarily on leg day. But you got the legs right here with the nice red stripe on there as well, and the nice feet as well. But overall, it is a very cool Ultra Magnus design, and also a clever way to reuse an older design without having to spend another like $1 billion in order to be able to create a new design, because that is the main problem that Transformers Prime always ran into, with the fact that it ran into budget problems. It always apparently went over budget. And then here he is from the back, looking very nice as well, very clean as well. I like the way that this looks. Overall, it looks pretty clean, and as you can see, the smokestacks from Optimus Prime's mold are not here, sadly enough. So then, let's move you off to the side to look at your accessories. Starting off, let's start off with the weird one first. Why does he come with a jetpack? He comes with this actually really cool designed jetpack, and I don't get why. I really don't understand why he comes with a jetpack, because in the show he never had a jetpack, so it makes no sense for him to come with a jetpack. But it comes with a jetpack, as you can see. It's a really cool looking jetpack. I will say that maybe this was concept art that they threw away. I also like how it kind of looks like there's a little bit of like a missile like in here as well. And to attach this jetpack to good old Ultra Magnus, what you do is simple. You take this and you basically just clamp this. Like, there are two tabs here sticking out. They are gonna go into the holes here and here. Like, you got like slight openings if you want to focus on you. But you got like slight openings here. So basically you just want to take that and tab this whole thing into place. It can be a little bit annoying. There you go. Because also I haven't done it in a long time. Then move these out slightly, these back panels, and then rotate this whole thing down, and then these two things are gonna basically eat the back grill, right there. So you basically want to just rotate this so that it aligns with that. Come on, thank you. And then you can click that on, and here we have Ultra Magnus with his jetpack. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I will say that. It actually looks really cool on Ultra Magnus. I have no complaints outside of the fact that this never happened, because the one who actually got the jetpack was Optimus Prime in his new mode. But that's not all you get, because moving him out of the way again, we have a hammer. He comes with the Forge of Solus Prime, kind of, but not really colored in, because the only one I think that was actually colored in was like the leader class or whatever, weaponizer class. Like, I think it was like Platinum Edition Ultra Magnus that came with like a colored in version. And while this hammer does not necessarily look all that bad, you know, I love the silver that they did, even though it is gold. The problem is the fact that while yes, it is a nice looking hammer, it fits in his hand perfectly and it looks like a good hammer, this thing was supposed to be 10 times as big as it actually was, because in the show this whole thing was huge. So it is a good hammer, you know. He'll be able to smack some Decepticons left, right, and center, but this thing was like this big instead of like this tiny little thing. So sadly enough, it is not like in the show, but it still comes with it. So then also let me just untap the backpack here, put it off to the side, because I don't necessarily need that backpack anymore. And also just a little thing that I personally want to show off, because I do have the first edition knockoff Optimus Prime. You can also give first edition Optimus Prime's gun to Ultra Magnus, who had a gun that looked like this. Also, funny enough, this arm actually does get shot off in the show. Sadly enough, he later on has a bit of a, like one of those like claw things for hands. But anyway, yeah, he can still hold this gun, which is how I have him displayed, because I can't put all the weapons on first edition Optimus Prime. So yeah, overall, very nice. He comes with some good accessories. So then let's go straight into the articulation segment. The head can rotate all the way around. Arms can do the full same, fully around, in and out, with him smacking himself in the head with his big shoulder pads. You got a swivel down here, you got an elbow joint, and the hand can go up and down, no rotation, sadly enough. Then he has no waist, as you can see, even though they could have easily have given him a waist. Then the leg goes forward and back a little bit, but everything gets blocked. In and out, a swivel over here, a bend at the knee, little over 90. And then also the feet have ankle tilt in them, because of the fact that, you know, they kind of need to fold in like this in order for transformation. And also you get some up and down action as well. So you have some articulation down there. So not the worst articulation, obviously not the best, because articulation was the main focal point. So then let's move you into the back and go into size comparison. And we're actually going to split the size comparison up into 3 parts, but this time it is definitely going to be different. So starting off, let us bring in Leader Man himself. Here he is next to Optimus Prime, the first edition one. Because I'm gonna be honest here, I have no idea where I have actually left the RID Optimus Prime Voyager mold. I put that idiot away when I got this beautiful figure, and I haven't looked back at him since. But anyway, here they are together, and to be honest, I love this. I absolutely love this, because while yes, Ultra Magnus uses the same mold as Optimus in the show, this, because of the fact that these two are very different figures, it makes them look different from each other, and I love that about these two. They look so different yet so alike as well. I love that about the fact that I got the first edition Optimus Prime figure. But here they are together. So then let's bring in the team, shall we? That being the Wrecker team. So here we have the Transformers Prime Wreckers, and Wheeljack definitely does not want to be here because he hates Ultra Magnus in the show. But yeah, we got Bulkhead and Wheeljack next to Ultra Magnus. These were the Wreckers that we got in the actual show, and I do like the fact that Wheeljack over the course of the show eventually learned to respect Ultra Magnus and understand where Ultra Magnus was coming from, but still also be completely reckless. But they did gain some respect for each other during season 3, and I love that. And also I love Bulkhead just trying to keep the peace between the two. Basically, Wheeljack at every opportunity cursing out Ultra Magnus, and then Bulkhead being like, no, sir. He was complimenting your antennas, your ears. He was complimenting those, or he was complimenting your massive shoulders. He was definitely not making fun of them at all. So let's get them out of here. And before we continue on with size comparison, what I also would like to say, I completely forgot about the during articulation. The fact these things can actually go down because of the fact there are holes here. You can actually put like a missile in here and shoot it out of the back. Completely forgot to say that, so there you go. Anyway, let us bring in the remainder of all of the Autobots that I have here, standing here on the table. So then here we have Ultra Magnus Magnus next to the remainder of the Autobots of Transformers Prime that I have here on the table, and he looks like a towering beast next to all of them. Very nice indeed. So let's get them out of here, pull you in closer, and let's get into that transformation. So let's get Ultra Magnus transformed into his vehicle mode. So what you want to start off with the hands is just fold them forward like so. Don't worry about that, we'll deal with this later as we always do. Then afterwards, you want to basically put your thumbs on these pieces right here in order to be able to pull the chest out completely, all the way out. Then afterwards in here, you want to fold this piece in. I almost forgot how it went. And then you want to rotate this so that it sits better, and also rotate the arms so that they are sitting like that, because that is basically the configuration for later. Fold in the head by rotating this piece around, and then afterwards we'll leave that for now, because now we gotta deal with hell itself. I will say that because it is annoying to deal with this. So what you want to do is you want to extend the shoulder pads, the giant shoulder pads, and then you want to rotate them around like so. So just rotate them around through the big hole. You want to rotate them around, then rotate them up, like so. Afterwards, rotate around this, rotate the forearm around, and then you can fold these pieces in while also rotating this piece forward. So you want to basically get this whole thing just in here so that you can get these things behind the big grill that he has here at the front. Tap the arms together, rotate this whole thing forward so that it's sitting like that, and then afterwards what you can do with this is you can basically just rotate this forward, rotate this one forward as well, tab these pieces here together, and then tab it over here in order to get it fully tabbed into place. Afterwards, what you can do is you can take these side pieces here. There are two tabs, one here and one there. You want to get them under here, but this tab actually has a designated slot right there. So basically you want to take this whole thing, lift this up a little bit, and push on it in order to get it into place. Do the same thing on the other side. So just lift this up in order to get this under, and then push it around a little bit so that these tabs line up with their slot right there. Afterwards, you can lift this up and tab this into the side here. There is actually a tab on the inside here that is going to go into the slot up there. So you basically want to take this and just tap that in like so. After that, we come to the legs. So what you want to do with the feet, you want to basically rotate them into itself. So rotate it in, push up on it to get it fully in. Afterwards, you want to take the feet, tap these bad boys together, untap this whole thing, and push it all the way forward. Push this also all the way forward, and then there are two tabs right here that need to slide under there. There are two slots, and then after that push this down. You can, if you want to, flare this out, your choice, but you can also just leave it like this. But anyway, after that, after a lot of fiddling with that, here we have Ultra Magnus in his truck mode. So here we have Ultra Magnus in his truck mode, and before we really get into this figure, I would like to say one thing. The lack of smokestacks, which is something that I was thinking of during the robot mode part when I mentioned the fact he does not have any smokestacks, but I was kind of unsure about, so I looked up. Turns out I was correct. They were actually missing in the show as well. They took off the smokestacks off of Ultra Magnus, I guess, to make him look slightly different from Optimus Prime. But here he is in his truck mode, and it's a very, very nice looking truck mode. So let's get over here. We got the unpainted grill right here with the blue Autobot symbol right there. Should have been a Wrecker symbol, but whatever. And then you got the yellow here on the side as well. Now, this thing is not perfectly accurate to the show because they did change Ultra Magnus's truck mode slightly, and also added a little base here as well, a little thingy back here, which we can actually kind of replicate, but not entirely. But anyway, that's what you get with like a small, but like a barely retool in that sense. We just take off the smokestacks, put in a new thing here, put in the arms, which, by the way, these shoulders are just sticking out the back. Now, what you can actually do with them is, if you want to, you can actually flare them out like this, if you want to, but that is not accurate to the show, even though I kind of wish that he had something like this, because that would have made the smokestacks a little bit better. But what, or like the shoulders, not the smokestacks. But anyway, here you got the yellow lights here at the front. I don't know if I talked about them, so we're just going to continue on. Then you got the vents here on the side as well. You got the nice new chest here with an upside down Autobot logo, because that is actually upside down from how it is normally in chest mode. Then afterwards, here on the side, you got some nice silver, which could have been used on here, and also you get some silver here and also on here as well. Then the same thing obviously goes for the other side with a bunch of truck details as well. You know what, actually, little story time, just a tiny one. Back when I was a kid, becoming a trucker was actually something that looked actually pretty fun to myself. So I was thinking of maybe one day becoming that, but then, you know, I kind of got kicked out from being able to work. So, yeah, I can't really become a person. Well, at least, like, work for money, okay? I cannot work for money because, you know what? We're not gonna finish that. We're just gonna move on with the figure. But anyway, yeah, but I was always kind of interested in becoming a trucker back in the day. But anyway, then also you got some nice details here on the, like, little lines here on the back of the truck as well. The feet are not really aligned. And yes, it can technically carry a trailer if you have one. I do not have one with me at the moment. And then this is what he looks like from the bottom. Basically, his face poking out up there. But outside of that, yeah, he just looks fine, I guess. So then let's take a look at the weapon storage. Starting off, obviously, we get the jetpack, and the jetpack is very simple to align. I actually already put it into its mode, so let's just untransform this thing so that you guys know how to transform it. So basically what you want to do with the wings is you want to put them back, fold this piece down and click it into place, then fold these pieces here down as well, and then afterwards what you want to do, as you can see, there are 3 holes here on the back, 3 pegs. You basically want to just line this up and tab that in if you want, if you can, that is. But yeah, anyway, this kind of also mimics in a way, outside of, you know, these wings here. It does kind of mimic the whole, like, silver back that Ultra Magnus had. Which I don't know if he had since the beginning, but I do remember the fact that he had that later on in order to carry around, you know, this big thing. Which you can actually technically, I mean, you have to kind of push this off to the side, but you can actually, if you then take this and just, like, potentially put it in here, there is a hole up there that you can just plug this into. No, okay. Then I guess we might just have to do it like, okay, none of it works. None of it want to work. Alright, let's take this thing off. But basically what you could do, I guess, in robotic mode is you can actually plug this onto the back here. I forgot to show that off. And also, then this tab here goes into that slot there in order to fully, like, put it on the back here. But you can't necessarily attach this to here anymore if you do that. So it was for robot mode. I thought it was a thing for vehicle mode. Speaking of which, what you can actually do with this is you can kind of get this in here. Push it in, and then you can kind of push it down, and you can kind of leave it like this if you want to. Also close this up, but you can kind of do that if you want to. I thought you were going to be able to find the hole, but whatever. Anyway, also you can technically just place it here on the side in order to do it like that. You got options with this big thing. Also, you can technically plug it in here on the side as well. Okay, you can't. Not with this thing. And then I guess, you know, if you want to, you can also just take this thing and just store it on the back if you have first edition Optimus Prime. Or take this gun and store it here on the side in order to shoot. There you go. That's your weapon storage right there. So let's put everything off to the side, and then without any further ado, let's go into SAS comparison. Starting up, here he is next to Optimus Prime. And to be honest, with the fact that this guy is the RID mold and this is the first edition mold, they look even more different from each other than the RID mold next to Ultra Magnus. So I like this a lot more. This makes him look slightly more different from Optimus Prime, which I am a big fan of. Like, they are 2 different trucks, because you see the same car driving around on the street all the time, and then it's like, oh, but this is a different brand. This is like Kia or whatever brands there are, and this is a Chevrolet. It's like, yeah, but they kind of look the same though. That's kind of the way that I see these 2 trucks together. I may have already explained this in the Optimus Prime review that I did about, I don't know, 2 or so years ago, but doesn't matter. Anyway, here they all are together. Fantastic. So then let's bring in the cast of Season 1 of Transformers Prime. So here we have the main cast for Season 1 of Transformers Prime together with Ultra Magnus, and he fits right in. You love to see it. He fits definitely right in. So then let's get these guys out of here and bring in Knight Rider. So here we got Ultra Magnus next to Kit from Knight Rider, looking very nice as well. So then let's bring in the remaining Autobots. So here we got the remaining Autobots next to Ultra Magnus right there, and they all look great next to Ultra Magnus, absolutely. And yes, Wheeljack has been put as far away as possible from Ultra Magnus, because these 2 don't like to be seen together. Speaking of which, you know what? Here we got the Wreckers together, yay! There you go, the Wreckers are now together, all on screen. So let's get these guys out of here, pull you in closer, and let's get ready for that reverse transformation. So let's get Ultra Magnus back into his robot mode, which can be a little bit annoying because of the shoulder pads. So what you want to start off with, obviously, is you can just take this and actually untap these side pieces here. Don't do anything up here yet, but unpack these side pieces here and then rotate, untap it, and rotate it up like so. We'll deal more with that later, because now what you want to do is you want to bend this down so that you can basically take this, rotate this forward, and then on here push in order to straighten this out completely. There you go. Afterwards, you can split the legs, fold out the foot all the way and rotate it forward, fold out the foot and rotate that bad boy forward. There you go. Afterwards, what you want to do with this, you want to fold this off to the side. You can kind of see this is some kind of like battle mode or whatever, or exploded mode, your choice. Then afterwards, what you want to do is you want to basically take the grill here. Okay, this is why I grabbed the part separator. And untab it from in here, and then also take these side pieces here. I like to grab here on the weapon storage ports, I guess, in order to be able to just undo, just lift up on this thing and push down on this one in order to untab it. Push this off to the side, take this whole thing and rotate around the grill section, that is. Then afterwards, what you want to do is you want to split the arms and also split this and rotate this off to the side like so. Rotate the arm around. Rotate this off to the side and rotate the arm around like so. Then afterwards, you want to basically get this back into place, which, by the way, you do that by going through the big hole here, not the one on this side. So you basically want to take this, rotate this around, and just slide it over and then push down on it to lock it into place like so. Do the same thing on the other side. Sometimes it is a little bit annoying, sometimes it is less annoying. So basically, make sure you push down on it first in order to get it into the position like so, and then you can rotate this around and then push down on it. There you go. Afterwards, in here, you can also pull out this little piece here. Then you want to basically take this whole thing and push it up and collapse the chest in on itself. And then rotate the arms so that they are facing forward. You know how it goes. Simple as that. Also, I like to flare this out a little bit as well. Oh, this was not pushed down. My apologies. There you go. And then after that, after a little bit, here we have Mr. Ultra Magnus Man back in his robotic mute. So then, final thoughts on Ultra Magnus. What do I think about him? By the way, the gun does not belong to him. Technically, it belongs to this guy, but he comes with 2 guns and 2 blades. So one hand has a blade, one hand has a gun, and the other gun can go into Ultra Magnus' hand. But anyway, what do I think about him? I think overall he's pretty good. I do. I like him very much. Now, there is actually an Ultra Magnus figure in Transformers Prime that is not a retool of Optimus Prime, and is his own complete figure. Now, which one would I recommend more? Well, the thing is that even back in the day, people were complaining about that Ultra Magnus figure. So I would still recommend this one over that one. And also there's that Platinum Edition. I think it was Platinum Edition, which is, it was like a retool of like the Weaponizer Optimus, but nobody seems to like that thing. So yeah, this guy does not necessarily have this most stellar of competitions, but overall, I think he is a great figure. They did a really good job with the retool. The only real issue is the fact that the gigantic shoulder pads have really nowhere to go. So would I recommend this guy? Yeah, sure. For Voyager class price point, I would very much recommend him. You know, if you find him for Voyager or less, obviously, less is always better. I would say, yeah, sure, why not? If you like the Transformers Prime Ultra Magnus and you want a figure of him, I would recommend this guy, because this is definitely the best one that there is, and I also kind of wish the hammer was bigger. But that has been my review of Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Voyager class Ultra Magnus. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!